Haste is a new game by Landfalls, and it's all about falling on land. Holy fuck, they are cooking. This game is basically Subway Surfers if it was actually good. You are running away from a Fortnite fog that damages you, trying to avoid obstacles and go as fast as possible, eventually finishing the stage. The best thing about this game is easily its movement. Controlling your character feels very smooth. Flying around, barely squeezing through gaps in between the structures is very satisfying, and getting to extreme speeds makes me feel like I'm playing the best 3D Sonic game ever. Let's talk about the game a bit more in detail now, cause even though I really enjoyed it, there are some things that are holding it back from being great. This game is a roguelite. Does it have to be a roguelite? No. The best elements of this game are all movement related, and abilities you can use are also very fun. But all the roguelike elements here, except procedurally generated levels, feel very unnecessary to me. There is this clearly Slay the Spire inspired map that many roguelikes and roguelites have been copying for many years now, and there is nothing bad in that. However, it really doesn't fit in this game. Choosing different routes changes almost nothing, and events that you come across sometimes are not impactful or interesting at all. Maybe you'll get like one item. Sometimes you get a challenge level though. Those are pretty fun. For example, trying to collect stars or coloring as much of the map as you can in a given time frame. So let's talk about items. First of all, they really look like they're from Risk of Rain 2 for some reason. Just an observation. Second of all, Haste suffers from the same issue many roguelites nowadays have. All the items are very similar to each other, and they don't do anything interesting. 5% speed boost, restore 2 health on perfect landing. Brother, I don't care. Some items try a bit harder, like for example there is an item to slow down time, but still it's not very fun to use. The legendaries don't offer any interesting abilities that would significantly change your gameplay loop, so I ask why even have those items in the game. Ability items that you choose before a run is what really switches up your game loop in a unique way. A surfboard to increase your time in the air, a spirit to quickly move you vertically, an amazing grappling hook that makes you feel like Nathan Drake on amphetamine. I wish we had more than just 4 of those abilities instead of all those items that feel very unimpactful. Fine, let's stop hating for a second, cause again I do enjoy this game. I think this game stylistically is quite amazing. All the terrain and character designs are so bright and full of color. Everything is just really nice to look at and stands out. The levels are also varied, not only with all sorts of objects to dodge, like trees and broken structures, but also have speed rings to boost players' speed if you can pass through them, rockets falling from the sky trying to hit you. Overall, levels are just great and have enough variety to not get boring too quickly, including visual variety. Deserts, forests, Iceland, green level. There is a lot to look at. Also, sometimes you will enter a level that has some sort of effect, like this old school low poly filter or a black and white level. The game's story is happening while all dimensions are breaking apart. That explains why everything is so random. Oh yeah, the game has a story and I wish it didn't. It feels like writers were trying to match this game's speed while writing those dialogues, because most of the conversations feel so random and they're trying to say a bunch of things way too fast, trying to drop hints for the lore of this world, but it all happens in between the levels, slowing the game's pace. At a certain point, I just realized that I don't care about any of that story stuff and started skipping dialogue because I was not invested at all. So the roguelike map system is kinda ass, but at least you do get to fight bosses when you reach the end. And those bosses are kinda sick. I love the whole concept of fighting some enormous creature while playing as a little human. and this game does it really well. Boss fights do feel like spectacles and gameplay-wise are very engaging, even though you basically have to just run into the boss a couple times to kill it. But getting to them is what it's all about. All of the game's mechanics are being used in those fights really well. Bosses themselves are those huge machines and their designs feel very post-apocalyptic. The least fun one to fight is probably Jumper, since you just dodge waves and get to him quite easily. It is still fun and looks cool though. The snake boss is very interesting. Its whole body acts like playable area that you are supposed to get onto, eventually catch up with its head and deal damage. All while dodging lasers and explosions, of course. Convoy is probably my favorite visually. It is this huge moving machine that shoots dozens of lasers at you while you're trying to get inside of it. All of those bosses are really cool, but again, I wish there was more of them. The best thing this game has is probably Infinite Mode. This is just a non-stop series of levels with almost no downtime. You still get items once in a while, but that's quick. You can still die in this mode, by the way, in which case you have to start from the beginning. But there are difficulty options in case you just want to chill or sweat even harder. This is the mode I prefer way more than the roguelike variant, cause it is all about the game's best parts. I love just putting some music on and playing this thing while relaxing. That's where this game shines the most for me. The developers are also actively working on the updates for this game, fixing bugs and even adding new content. Please add more movement abilities, I beg you. Do I think this game is worth buying? Well, if you're into games with a very smooth movement that are awesome to hop on and chill for a bit, yes, absolutely. Especially considering that this game is very cheap.